Hello there folks, I'm Dan Brown from asortofinterestinlife.com and you're joining me on board today for an absolutely beautiful trip in a perfect sunny Shropshire. And as you can see, you've got sun, blue sky through the trees. What more could you possibly ask for? And well, I suppose really what you're probably saying is, Dan, what we could ask for is you to talk for 10 minutes non-stop. So I suppose I better start and get on with it. So what's been up with boat life? Well, recently, unfortunately, this sort of weather has been very, very rare. Now, if anybody's watching this from the UK, then you will be well aware of how bad the weather has been and all the floods down south and all that sort of stuff. So, I've got to say we're very lucky up here that even though we've had really strong wind and an awful lot of rain, it's been nowhere near what it's like and there's no major flooding around this area. So, wishing everybody down south luck and all the best, and hope everybody watching this is safe and at least dry. And the reason that this clip here is particularly sunny is because obviously I wanted to move the boat on a good sunny day, but for anybody who's watched my previous videos like this, where I just commentate over a general 10-minute clip of unbroken boating, you will know that I've done the canal up to this point from around the corner in previous videos, and those days weren't quite such. Those clips weren't quite such amazing sunny scenery, as unfortunately the camera that had the rest of that original trip that I'd filmed on fell off my kayak and into the canal, and has not been seen since. So unfortunately, I had to then refilm basically the rest of the trip the next time I went down here. And that was about 2 weeks ago, and it's got to be said that since this was filmed, sorry, the cat's just come in and confused me there, couldn't get me words out. Yeah, since this was filmed, it has been just, I'd say, out of 14 or 15 days, there's probably been maybe 2 dry days. And I don't think even the driest day that we had wasn't completely void of any rain. So yeah, kayaking at the moment is, well, I'm absolutely loving it, but there's not very many opportunities to get out there and do it. And the same with proper distance biking, and I've got some great biking trips that I want to do with the new, I don't know, whatever you would call it, sports camera. And I've got me chest mount now so I can do proper decent videos and filming. So hopefully you shall stay around and enjoy some of that. Sorry, I'm filming this, or I'm recording this audio at my mother's house, and the cat is going absolutely crazy all over me legs here and trying to jump up the table. So apologies if there's any odd sounds in the background. Yeah, so really, boat life has been fantastic, if a little wet. And it's got to be said that regardless of how much I always tell you how much I love boat life, and it's great being all cosy inside when it's wet and windy outside, and you've got the fire going and you're all there nice and warm, protected from the battering elements outside. But after, well, it was well before Christmas that the bad weather really started, and we've had very few proper good days like this in the last 6 weeks. And that is certainly leading to the cabin fever effect of, it's just, right, I'm on the boat. As some of you know, I have a bit of a bad back, so I have to try and get out all the time, and a couple of times a day to just do little 20-minute walks even. And just doing those has been a very awkward experience. And because I've been stuck on board for so much longer per day than I normally would be, I've started to feel my back start to ache again, and it's just that usual pain. But anyway, we don't want to dwell on the negative. So yeah, as a lot of people, when I've told them, think that, oh yeah, me drying me wet clothes out over the wood burner is a beautiful romantic scene, and it's fantastic, and it sounds great when I say it to people. But once it becomes the case, how it has recently, that you're literally talking about every single day you need to have clothes drying off over the fire, it starts to be like, because on Tilly I've got such limited space, I'm thinking, right, what clothes am I going to wear today? What clothes am I going to wear tomorrow? And at what point are they going to be dry to then re-wear them? After, basically, I've had 2 clean sets of clothes that I've been switching between. and they've really been two dirty sets of clothes, because every time you go out, you can see what the towpath is like down here. It's just so muddy, and this was before we've had the serious rainfall that we've had recently. But you can tell just how muddy the towpath is at the side there now. And like I say, if you then scale that up to basically put an awful lot more water down, and then on top of that, just a sheet of water. And it's unusual to get big puddles down this side, down this part of the towpath. As you can probably see, it's got a slight slant on it, so it doesn't normally collect loads of water. But I'd say I biked down here the other night from my friends up at Western Rin, and probably of the 3 miles or so, you're probably talking 2.5 miles of it was literally, at least one of my bike tyres was submerged in water, because it was just horrendous. Anyway, I've been taking a few random clips which haven't really been able to form into much because of the bad weather. But hopefully I'll put together a little general, yeah, this is boat life in the terrible weather, and this is how muddy it is, and this is the sort of the opposite side of boat life compared to the beautiful summer scenery and all that people tend to think of. Oh yeah, we're going on a nice boat trip and all that sort of stuff. Whereas a day like today, oh, if I could have another couple of these a week at the minute, it would be perfect. But unfortunately, you're lucky to get one of these every 2 weeks. So that's something that I would definitely say, yeah, just remember when you see me talking about how brilliant boat life is, even I, after so much wet weather and being stuck on board for so long, I mean, I'm somebody who's pretty stupid and will just go out regardless of the weather, but it's been to such an extent that, well, you just can't have that many wet clothes constantly coming back in to be dried off on board, because then you've got the element of you start to steam up all your windows, and oh, it's just chaos. Oh, look at that, that's a beautiful image there, just going through the humpback bridge. Oh, this, like I've said time and time again, this is just what I love about narrowboat life. If any of you are friends with me on Facebook or have liked the Facebook page, then you'll see the photos that I post of the boat, especially a couple recently, where it's been one of these perfect days, or at least perfect mornings, if the sun doesn't last all day. And I mean, woke up the other day and literally had a rainbow on the horizon going down to the hills in Wales, and oh, it's just fantastic. So I'm walking up and down the towpath, just stretching my legs and my back, and literally looking to see a rainbow just over the roof of the boat, and it's like, yes, this is what it's all about. Speaking of hills, something as well that, now this wasn't quite to plan. I had last weekend off, so I thought, right, on the Sunday, I was lucky enough to be able to get a lift out to sort of the back of Wrexham area, the World's End sort of area, a place called Minera, for anybody local. And I thought, right, about a 12-mile walk, that sounds good to me. I thought, right, I'll go up through there, past the place known as World's End, and do a couple of small mountain tops. And everything was going fine. But I'll point out now that I'd been reading the map at about 1:30 the previous morning, and I was thinking, right then, if I go up here, oh, perhaps I can go up this mountain instead. And on my way across this sort of heathery, open, sort of desolate looking land, I thought, right, I'm going to go up that mountain, go up to the top of this mountain, and when I came over the other side of it, I realised my terrible error, and as it turned out, I was at a place known as the Horseshoe Pass locally, and it basically instantly made me know that I was an awful lot further away from home than I thought I was, and my 12-mile walk turned into 21 miles, and to say that I thought it was going to be 12 miles, 9 miles of it ended up being walking back down the canal on the towpath. So that was certainly a bit of, I don't know, a bit of fun. Not quite to plan, and the fact it was a Sunday meant there were no buses for me to catch. But, well, you live and learn, and I'll certainly be double-checking my maps at a sensible hour in the future. So, anyway, this has been a completely random video. Hope you've enjoyed some nice scenery. It's very lucky that I actually managed to get this footage on the one good day that we've had. and hopefully you will check out my other videos for some more normal, straightforward narrowboat life clips. And hopefully as well you will like the Facebook page, check out my books on Amazon and all that sort of stuff, The Narrowboat Lad and The Narrowboat Lad Living the Dream. Of course, be sure you can feel free to just add my personal account on Facebook, as well as follow me on Twitter. Find loads of pictures and all sorts of stuff. In fact, a lot of pictures very similar to the background there. Just perfect canal scenery. Anyway, until the next time, have a fantastic day and farewell.